Making money while you sleep feels amazing. That's why today we're talking about my 3 favorite methods for making passive income. Hello and welcome to our modern money journey. Just a brief reminder that I am not a licensed professional. This is not investment advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Hi, I'm Joe with our modern money journey. If you're new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe, and everyone, make sure to hit that like button. The YouTube algorithm appreciates it, and so do we. So, jumping on into things, my first favorite method of producing passive income is dividend investing. So this is when you purchase companies that pay out a dividend to shareholders. Lots of companies take portions of their earnings and pay them out to shareholders as dividend. This typically isn't a whole lot of money. You're not going to get rich overnight off dividends. The typical yield is on the low end of under 5 or 6%, but it's a good place to start. It's a tried and true method for generating passive income. Buying solid companies that pay healthy dividend that isn't going to disappear anytime soon because the company has overextended themselves, paying out too much of their money as dividend to try and attract investors real quick. You want a healthy company that pays out a healthy dividend. 3 of my favorite dividend paying companies that I hold are AT&T, AbbVie, and General Dynamics. So let's move on to method number 2. My second favorite method for generating passive income is staking cryptocurrencies. I'm not going to dive into the details or anything like that in this video, but what you're doing is locking up some of your cryptocurrency on the network, which allows the network to help process transactions. And in exchange for helping process transactions and lending your cryptocurrency to the network, you are paid out a small amount of more cryptocurrency in reward. So this yield is typically low, just like dividends, on a few percent, typically less than 6%. But since it is paid to you in cryptocurrency, whichever one you are staking, instead of US dollars, if you're expecting that cryptocurrency to gain in value over the foreseeable future, then getting more of that cryptocurrency will simply amplify your gains as the price goes up, making this an attractive form of passive income generation for me. After we do the Intro to Altcoins educational adventure, we'll make sure to do a video on staking cryptocurrencies that goes into more of the details of how you actually do it. Right now, 2 of the currencies that I'm staking are Tezos and Cardano. So let's move on to passive income stream number 3. So my third favorite method for generating passive income is selling options contracts for premium. This is kind of an advanced strategy, so we won't, get into tons of details here. We're going to do lots of videos on options strategies later on. However, I just wanted to bring it up because it's probably my favorite method for generating passive income because it's so powerful. So to give you guys a brief rundown, an options contract controls 100 shares of a company. And an options contract gives the buyer the option to buy or sell that 100 shares that the contract represents. So as with any typical financial instrument, there is a buyer and a seller. So like I said, the buyer has the option to exercise the contract of whether they want to sell the 100 shares of the underlying or buy the 100 shares. So there are 2 different types of options contracts. We'll cover all this again in later videos in tons more detail. But the important thing to understand right now is there's a buyer and a seller. So the seller puts up collateral and the buyer puts up premium to buy the contract. So as the seller of the options contract, I put up the collateral, either money or 100 shares, depending on what type of contract it is, and then the buyer pays me that premium. These options contracts have expiration dates. If by the expiration date of the options contract, the underlying stock, that 100 shares, whatever stock it is, if its price has not gone to the agreed upon price in the options contract, then the contract expires worthless. In that case, the seller of the contract keeps their collateral that they put up and keeps the premium that the buyer paid. Typically, this is a very small percentage of what the total value of the collateral put up was. So the strategy here is sell contracts that have a very low likelihood of actually being exercised. So you want to sell a contract that it's going to expire worthless, and you're going to save that premium, or you're going to get that premium that the buyer has paid. Like I said, this is an advanced strategy, and we'll go over all this more in the future in many other videos. But this is really powerful because you can aim for like 1% a week or like 2% in 2 weeks. And that may not sound like much, but 2% in 2 weeks is over doubling your money every year. If you can over double your money every year, you can become pretty well off pretty quickly. But one of the biggest drawbacks to selling options contracts is you have to have that collateral. You have to have the money up front or the 100 shares of the underlying asset, depending on which type of contract you're selling. So that's a bit of a drawback in comparison to dividend investing or cryptocurrency staking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video on my 3 favorite methods for generating passive income. If you're new to investing and you're trying to generate some passive income, I highly suggest sticking with dividend investing. And then as you learn more and grow more, you can venture out into these other areas that I've mentioned. And like I said, we'll be putting out plenty of videos in the future about them in detail. Thank you. Alright, all you bulls and bears, we'll see you next time.